Hello students. In my previous video, I explained you about the various components of the basal ganglia. Okay. Now just a revision. Basal ganglia, it consists of caudate nucleus, the putamen. Okay. These are the parts of corpus striatum. Clear? Next, it consists of globus pallidus. It is having two components, internal and external. It consists of substantia nigra, this part, and consists of subthalamic nuclei. So, these are the parts of the basal ganglia. This is very important pathway, that is basal ganglia pathway. It helps in the movements, it helps in doing the movements, and it also helps in inhibiting the movements. Okay, so it's a very important pathway. So cortex, caudate nucleus and putamen. Okay, this is part of corpus striatum. The thalamus. So thalamocortical pathway or the basal ganglia pathway. Okay, then globus pallidus, internal, external. This is substantia nigra, and this is the subthalamic nucleus, ventral to the thalamus. Subthalamic nucleus, ventral to the thalamus. Now, we talked about the direct pathway in my previous video. Just a revision. What happens in direct pathway is the cerebral cortex, okay, from the cerebral cortex, the excitatory stimulus, it goes to the corpus striatum. Okay, remind well, just remember that direct pathway is an excitatory pathway. It leads to desired movements. Okay, so from cerebral cortex, the excitatory neuron, it goes to the corpus striatum via the neurotransmitter known as glutamate. This increases the activity of the inhibitory neurons in the striatum. So when the striatum is excited by the excitatory neurons from the cerebral cortex. Okay, so when striatum is excited by the excitatory neurons from the cerebral cortex via the glutamate neurotransmitter, the inhibitory neurons in the striatum is excited. Striatum consists of inhibitory neurons. So excitatory neurons will excite the inhibitory neurons. Okay, this will excite the inhibitory neurons. Now then what will happen? The striatum will send increased inhibitory signals. So this red arrow, it will send increased inhibitory signals to globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata. So there are inhibitory signals sent from corpus striatum to globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata. Now this inhibitory signal is via the GABA. What is GABA? Gamma aminobutyric acid. A neurotransmitter is sending this inhibitory signals to this globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata. What is the normal function of globus pallidus? It inhibits the thalamus. So, when the globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra is inhibited, okay, the globus pallidus external and the substantia nigra pars reticulata is inhibited, okay, by the signals from the striatum, and its function is to inhibit the thalamus. So this function it will be no longer able to do, because that function is inhibited by the inhibitory signals from corpus striatum. So it will not be able to inhibit the thalamus. So now what happens? The thalamus, okay, will send, okay, or the thalamus is free to send the stimulatory signals to the motor cortex, okay, via the glutamate. And then motor cortex gets excited and it sends signals to various muscle groups in the spinal cord, which ultimately leads to movement. Okay, so this pathway is direct pathway. Now we'll proceed further to the indirect pathway. What does indirect pathway? What are the components of the indirect pathway? Now, the indirect pathway is beginning in the cortex. Okay, it begins in the cortex and it proceeds as follows. So it begins in the cortex and it proceeds as follows. Okay, now what is indirect pathway? It starts from the cortex, it travels to the corpus striatum, it travels to globus pallidus external, then to the subthalamic nuclei, then it comes back to the globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra, pars reticulata, eventually terminates into the thalamus and back to the cortex. So, this is the pathway. It starts from the cortex, goes to the corpus striatum, that is putamen and caudate nucleus. It goes then to external globus pallidus. This component is added as compared to direct pathway. Then it goes to the subthalamic nuclei. This is also added. And then it reaches the globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata. Then to the thalamus and back to the cortex. So this is the pathway. This way the signals are traveling in the indirect pathway. So from the cerebral cortex to the striatum, then the globus pallidus external. In direct pathway, there was no globus pallidus external. Then to the subthalamic nuclei. This was also not present in the direct pathway. Then globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata, and then thalamus, and then back to the cortex. So this is about the traveling of the indirect pathway. Okay, now we'll proceed further. The indirect pathway is inhibitory, that it inhibits the movement, unlike the direct pathway, which is excitatory when it promotes movements. Okay, so what they are saying, the indirect pathway is inhibitory. Okay, so here is the indirect pathway. You can see here the indirect pathway is inhibitory, that is it inhibits the movement, unlike the direct pathway, which is excitatory, where it promotes the movement. So direct pathway is excitatory and indirect pathway is inhibitory. Now just listen carefully. This pathway, it starts from the cerebral cortex. It is starting from the cerebral cortex, okay, to the striatum. From the cortex to the striatum, it is excitatory. You can see the green arrow and this is the red. So green arrow, it is showing excitatory signals and red arrow is showing inhibitory signals. Okay. So from the cerebral cortex to the striatum, it is excitatory. It activates the inhibitory neurons within the striatum. As I told you in direct pathway, in corpus striatum there are inhibitory neurons. Thus, when cerebral cortex sends signals to the corpus striatum, excitatory signals to the corpus striatum, the inhibitory neurons within the striatum, it gets activated. Now this inhibitory neurons from the striatum, it synapses with the globus pallidus external. So it is synapsing with the globus pallidus external. The inhibitory neurons in the corpus striatum, which is excited by the excitatory neurons from the cerebral cortex, it synapses with the globus pallidus external. The neurons from the globus pallidus external, it sends inhibitory fibers to the subthalamus. So it will send from globus pallidus external, there will be passage of inhibitory fibers to the subthalamus, okay, or the subthalamic nuclei. Clear? This much is clear. Okay, so the globus pallidus external will send inhibitory signals to the subthalamic nucleus. Additionally, the subthalamic nucleus or the subthalamus, it sends excitatory projections. Green signal, it sends excitatory projections, okay, to the globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata. So functionally, the striatum inhibits the globus pallidus external, and that causes disinhibition of the subthalamic nuclei. And when there is disinhibition of the subthalamic nuclei, and for this reason the neurons, okay, of the subthalamus, it becomes now more active. So when it is inhibited, the neurons becomes more active and they excite the internal segment of globus pallidus. Okay, so there is excitement of globus pallidus internal. So finally this loop they inhibit. Okay, now what is globus pallidus? What is the function of globus pallidus? To inhibit the thalamus. Now this is excited by the subthalamic nucleus. So what is its function? To inhibit the thalamus. So that will be performed by the globus pallidus internal. So it will inhibit the thalamic nuclei, and the end result of the pathway is decreased activity, okay, of the corticomotor neurons, and consequently it suppresses the movements. So this is about the indirect pathway. So indirect pathway, just listen again. In the indirect pathway, the basal ganglia is not only important for initiating the movements as we saw in direct pathway, but it is also important for inhibiting unwanted movements. So basal ganglia does both the function. It is for initiating the movements also, and it is also for inhibiting the unwanted movements. Now motor cortex sends stimulating signals to the corpus striatum. What does motor cortex do? It sends the stimulatory signals to the striatum. So motor cortex will send stimulatory signals to the striatum. Okay. Now this is about the indirect pathway. So what does happens? Again I am repeating. The motor cortex, it will send the stimulatory signals, okay, to the corpus striatum, and that signal is through glutamate. Okay. Now striatum has inhibitory neurons. So that is excited by the signals from corpus striatum. So it will send inhibitory signals. As it has inhibitory neurons, it will send inhibitory signals to globus pallidus external. Okay. Normally the function of the globus pallidus external is to inhibit another section of neuron of basal ganglia, that is subthalamic nuclei. Now what is the normal function of globus pallidus external? To inhibit the function of the subthalamic nuclei. Okay. But now the striatum is inhibiting the globus pallidus external. Okay. The striatum is inhibiting the globus pallidus external. Yes, it has inhibitory neurons which is excited by cerebral cortex. This inhibitory neurons will send inhibitory signals to the globus pallidus external. The function of globus pallidus external is to inhibit the subthalamic nucleus. Now, the striatum is inhibiting the globus pallidus external. So what will happen? The globus pallidus external is no longer able to inhibit the subthalamic nucleus. Yes, the globus pallidus external is no longer able to inhibit the subthalamic nucleus. So we get less inhibition of the subthalamic nucleus. So subthalamic neuron, it becomes more active and they are able to stimulate the globus pallidus internal via neurotransmitter glutamate. Now what is the normal function of globus pallidus internal? To inhibit the thalamus. But the subthalamic nucleus is become more active. The subthalamic nucleus is becoming more active and it is going to stimulate the globus pallidus internal. It is going to stimulate the globus pallidus internal, which becomes more active. Becomes more active. The globus pallidus internal, it becomes more active. Now what does it mean? What does it mean? Now the globus pallidus internal, it becomes more active means they are going to able to inhibit the thalamus better than they normally would. This has inhibitory function, okay, but they are stimulated by subthalamic nucleus, so it will be able to inhibit more to the thalamus, so it will able to send more inhibitory signals to the thalamus. So there is decreased excitatory flow to the motor cortex from the thalamus. So motor cortex turned down and will not be able to send signals for movement to the spinal cord and the muscles. So end result you get is less movement. Okay. So this was about the direct and indirect pathway. Okay. Now the basal ganglia, the direct pathway promotes voluntary movement in targeted muscles, and indirect pathway it inhibits movement in other muscles that do not contribute to overall unwanted movements. So inhibits the unwanted movements. So the result is coordinated smooth movement in which the muscles necessary for desired movements are recruited, while other muscles that might throw off of the desired movements are inhibited. So desired movements are recruited and the undesired movements are inhibited. Okay. So this is the main function of the basal ganglia, the pathways. Okay. So this is about the direct pathway and this is about the indirect pathway. Again I will repeat. First the direct pathway, please listen it carefully, very carefully. Okay. Now in the direct pathway, that is from the cerebral cortex. Okay, if we take the other diagram, we take the direct pathway. Okay, what will happen in the direct pathway? The excitatory stimulus, okay, from the cortex, it excites the striatum, that is the putamen and caudate nucleus, while the glutamate, okay, this striatum has inhibitory neurons. So it is getting excited, so that will send inhibitory signals to globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata via gamma aminobutyric acid neurotransmitter. Now the function of globus pallidus internal and substantia nigra pars reticulata is to inhibit the thalamus, but they are inhibited, so they will not be able to do this function. So what happens? The thalamus indirectly it gets excited and it will send excitatory signals to the motor cortex, and this will lead to desired movement. Understood? So that is about the direct pathway. Now in the indirect pathway, again the cortex, that is from the cerebral cortex, the excitatory signals goes to the striatum. The striatum has the inhibitory neurons which will send inhibitory signals to the globus pallidus external. Okay. Now this globus pallidus external. Okay. Now this globus pallidus external, what is its function? Its normal function is to inhibit the another section of the basal ganglia, that is the subthalamic nuclei. Okay. That is. But what is happening? This corpus striatum is inhibiting the globus pallidus external. So the globus pallidus external is no longer able to inhibit the subthalamic nucleus. The subthalamic nucleus, it becomes more active. Okay. It is not able to inhibit the subthalamic nucleus as it does. So it becomes more active and it will send excitatory signals to the globus pallidus internal substantia nigra pars reticulata. Now, if this is excited, the function of globus pallidus is to inhibit the thalamus. Now, this is excited, so it will be able to do more inhibition on the thalamus. So, there will be more inhibition on the thalamus and there will be inhibitory signals sent to the motor cortex. And that will, so there will be decrease in excitation of the motor cortex as there is sending of inhibitory signals. Okay. So the thalamus in turn will send the inhibitory signals to the motor cortex and the end result would be less movements. Okay. So motor cortex will turn down and will not be able to send signal for the movements to the spinal cord and the muscle, and so the end result you will get less movements. Okay. So this was all about the basal ganglia pathway. Okay. Please read it carefully, students. This is a very important topic for every point of view, whether it is theory, whether it is oral exam, whether it is MCQ. Okay, it's a very, very important topic, basal ganglia and the direct and the indirect pathway. So kindly go through this. Okay, thank you, students.